Okay, real quick, I'm going to be inputting this here at the beginning of the video, even though I'm recording this at the end, but editing. So, I expected this to only be like a 12-minute video. It ended up being longer than half an hour, because I went on a huge fucking rant in the first half of the video. So, I'm going to provide you guys with the number, here, wherever I place it, of the timestamp if you just want to skip my rant, okay? If you are interested in hearing my rant, it's literally me talking about the tonal shift of World of Warcraft. And comparing it from original World of Warcraft when Metzan was on board to the last couple of expansions where he was not a part of. So, I'm going to timestamp my video. Feel free to skip the rant if you do not wish to hear that part and just hear the raw what I think about Chris Metzan being full-time, okay? See ya. This one, I'm shooting off the hip because a lot of this is going to be unscripted. I'm typically unscripted anyway, but I don't really have a set guideline for this video other than just passion talking here. So, the topic of discussion, by the way, I have to have him on my lap because he's throwing a fit that he's not on my lap. Anyway, the topic of discussion is Chris Metzan and him returning to World of Warcraft. The thing is, he's been back, guys. He's been back. Like, what was it now? Like a year ago, they said, oh, Chris Metzan is coming back, but he's only going to be playing this small part of blah 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 blah. He's gonna be like a consultant or some shit, right? Well, weeks ago, through the grapevine, I think it started with a leaker who leaked it to Taliesin, which, you know, fuck that guy. He's a white knight who sucks Blizzard's dick at every opportunity. But I've been noticing just from other people who've been talking about Taliesin that even he's getting fed up with World of Warcraft now, and that's him, right? So through him, it's trickled down to like Belluar and to Asmongold and all these other YouTubers, right? All these streamers. I mean, even streamers getting pissed off at World of Warcraft, right? Even like the PvP ones, not even the story-driven ones. But we're gonna stick primarily to story and art in this video. So, what was I getting to? It's been trickling down that he's been playing a bigger role, Chris Metzan that is playing a bigger role behind the scenes than what was initially talked about. It said like, oh, he's just going to be a part-time consultant, or I forgot how they worded it, but it sounded like he was just going to be back doing little thing here and there, right? Well, from the leaks several weeks ago that he was actually playing a much larger role behind the scenes in influencing the story development in World of Warcraft. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of the team members on the World of Warcraft story team are frustrated because his creative direction is vastly different than theirs. And in my opinion, that's a good thing, and that's a good sign, especially that they've now come... that they've now come out and say he is going to be a full-time, I pulled it up here, give me 1 second. We've switched screens here. This is right here. It's taking a full-time executive creative director. Now, I don't know how it's going to be clashing with Denuser, because God, that guy. Ever since he took over in Chris Metzan's stead, the story has gone downhill. Because, and I'm kind of 50-50 with this, and I'll explain in a minute, but Chris Metzan, he is World of Warcraft. I mean, he wasn't around during Warcraft 1, right? I don't remember if he came on during Warcraft 2 or Warcraft 3, but either way, he's been around since like fucking 94, 95, whatever year it was he originally joined. He built the characters we know, expanded upon the old characters from the original game. He went and drew the map of what was going to be the World of Warcraft on the wall at the original Blizzard HQ, and not only did he do all that, he voice acted like 50 of the fucking characters. But let me show you something. So, that right there, that's Grommash Hellscream from 96, drawn by Metzan. he created Gromash's story, his character arc, his development, all that stuff. If we go over here, look at that, Pandaren, drawn in 03. Now, and those are like awesome Pandaren, what we should have gotten instead of the Mist of Pandaria ones. And you can see like the dwarf there next to him, and I guess that's a gnome. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I am going on this passionate discussion, aka rant, is because that Tauren right there is also the one on the left. That one is also Metzan's. Look how badass that is to the one on the right. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you're taking a singular photo from, what's it called, Hearthstone, and comparing it to World of Warcraft now, as if it is bad. It is bad, even though this is just a meme, and yes, they did take out a singular picture from Hearthstone. We'll get back to that in a minute. The next one, oh, look at that, badass dwarf dude with like a cowboy rimmed hat. He's got like a freaking revolver. Like, that's badass. Look at that, Thrall, drawn in 04. A Tauren drawn in 04. That is badass. And here's another one. This was the first one that circulated around that everyone has seen. You got Chris Metzan's drawing on the left-hand side, drawn in, I believe it says 05, 95? No, I think it says 95. I can't quite see. It's pretty blurred out. I think it says 95. And then on the right-hand side, you have another Hearthstone picture. Now, I'm going to show you that one right there because I'm going to get back to it in a second. So, with Chris Metzan, he is the story guy. He developed all of these characters. And if you want really good, original, hardcore Warcraft lore storytelling, I highly, highly recommend you read the short book. So it's not too big, short book called Blood and Honor. It's literally Tyrion and what was the orc's name? Eitrig. You know these characters. Two characters, well known. They meet. They have a badass fight. And then Tyrion goes through this, like, story arc of honor versus duty. And that's it. That's the whole story. Very short, but it's great. That is the core of World of Warcraft. And that book right there was written by Chris Metzan. Now, even beyond that, he created the world, the story, all that kind of stuff. Just read the original books that were not really done by Chris Metzan. I can't remember all of the authors' names, but, you know, Rise of the Horde, Beyond the Dark Portal, all those original, I would say, pre-BFA books. All of the pre-BFA books, I mean, even Storm Rage, Wolfheart, all those books are great. They are at core what World of Warcraft is. War, political intrigue, backstabbing, just chest-thumping orcs, righteous humans. This image right here that I'm showing you is basically the, you know, BFA modernized version of Warcraft 1, where you had the human and the orcs staring at each other. Warcraft 2, they did the same thing, but they had the pirates, because it was Kul Tiras versus the Dragon Maw, all that kind of stuff. Now, the reason why I'm showing this one is because with Chris Metzan and his influence in World of Warcraft, he quit World of Warcraft, I believe in 2016, which was halfway through Warlords of Draenor. Now, Warlords of Draenor has a ton of fucking issues that, you know, goes beyond what we're going to be talking about here today, but just I'm going to say just the theme, the feel of the story of Warlords. Now, I completely agree. You can take out Warlords of Draenor completely, and nothing changes in the lore. Nothing! But let's just isolate it to the singular stories within. The entire Frostfire Ridge with Duratan and his brother. Beautiful storytelling. I loved it! And the brother getting that badass final cinematic in the finale. And then you had the Draenei one. I didn't really play Alliance, so I can't really explain exactly what happened, but even then, the cinematic was great. The not Tanan jungle, oh my god, what was the Terrakar forest area? I forgot what it was called, but that one with Blackhand, and you had Ural and the other guy, I'm blanking right now, but that was badass. You know what I'm talking about? So the theme of Warlords of Draenor went back to the roots of just war. No fucking beyond into the universe bullshit. No Void Lords, no Titans. Raw, on the footmen on the ground, war machines, blood, fighting, honor, all that bullshit. And again, just isolated stories, and it felt badass, right? So that's what we want in World of Warcraft. Chris Metzan influenced the story and the world building, right? He's not really in charge of the mechanics behind all of the different gameplay and all that, which is what really sucked in Warlords, but that wasn't really him. You can't blame him on that. Now, around this time, they're already developing Legion. They're already planning Battle for Azeroth. So, what did Chris Metzan do? Well, at this point, this is when he left, right? So, you can definitely tell in Legion is when his influence is pretty much gone. All of the major characters that he played, such as Thrall, such as Varian, and all of the other minor characters, they either died, went away to do whatever because they are no longer needed, all that kind of stuff. Now, Varian went out like a badass. I'm perfectly okay with it. Thrall went out like a bitch. He's like, oh, well, Doomhammer doesn't talk to me anymore. Okay, person, you can have Doomhammer. I'm just gonna go over here in Nagrand and fuck around like I did in Cataclysm. So, that was kind of meh. So you could tell his influence was starting to die out there. The very last thing Chris Metzan worked on before he officially left was the intro cinematic to Battle for Azeroth. Watching to make sure the dog is not getting into anything. But he worked on Battle for Azeroth. Now, that expansion itself is absolutely terrible in terms, again, of mechanics, and especially in terms of storytelling now. We're going to... Mechanics? Terrible. I hate Battle for Azeroth mechanic-wise. When it comes to the story and the feel of Battle for Azeroth, you can definitely see the tonal shift from the halfway mark onward. The Azara shit, that should have been an expansion. They one and done it. It was fucking terrible. N'Zoth shit. Built up for expansions. Hey guys, N'Zoth is finally here. He's gonna start taking, and he's gone. Okay, well, what the fuck? He should have been an expansion to himself, right? Nope, he's gone. Anyway, the first half of it, Chris Metzan did his last few touches there, and the intro cinematic, Horde versus Alliance. This poster right here, that's what it embodied. Yeah, it was just Sylvanas screaming, "For the Horde!" and whatever the fuck, but besides the Sylvanas, because I hate her, I've always hated her, besides her, the orcs just rushing in there, you got the fucking trolls, they were literally going in there, slamming and hacking people down, jumping on, zapping, that was awesome. They used to go Tauren busting through the barricade, awesome. And then the humans, yeah, fuck the Alliance, right, but even they looked badass, so like, you know, for the Alliance, and you can see the tanks rolling up, the riflemen lining up, taking their shots. Badass. That was the last thing Chris Metzan did. And again, the war conflict was okay, minus my Rastakhan nitpick. I'm not going to get into that because it's going to be a whole hour-long rant. But besides the Rastakhan bullshit, the rest of the war storyline, Sarafang, completely okay. Anduin was okay in this expansion. Fine. I liked it. And then we get into the other storytelling. Now, what was that other picture I had? So, that right there, I would say embodies the first half of BFA. Dwarf, Orc, even though they are the new ones, but showcasing off the new racials, right? So it's whatever. But awesome art, badass, embodies the Horde. The Dark Iron just embodies him, but it's still in the Dwarven style, and they're going at it. Beautiful. It's awesome. Now, we're getting into the tonal shift. Since a lot of the original World of Warcraft team people, the OGs, have started leaving, there has been a huge tonal shift, especially when Chris Metzan and a lot of the other people left. And now, again, we're going to just focus on the story and the art, not the gameplay mechanics, not any of that other stuff. Sticking to this, the tonal shift. They started just going into storylines that make absolutely no goddamn sense. They don't go anywhere. Villains are not villains. They literally cannot make a villain. And now this has been a critique, you could say, of several expansions now, because it's always, oh, this guy was actually working for the Void or the Legion. Like, every single villain can be traced to the Void or the Legion. You can literally trace every villain. But beyond that, you don't really have big villains. The back guys behind everyone else who are just villainous for the purpose of being villainous and their own schemes. Now, from what I've been told, because I didn't play Shadowlands, the Sire Denathrius guy does have his own intentions and motives. Great. He's one guy out of all of these other villains. The Elementalists, I feel, are the best thought out villains in a while in Dragonflight, but I'm afraid they're going to one and done them. That's my biggest fear. Oh, and by the way, one of them is now on our side, and the other one has already been killed. So, yeah, they're going down the toilet just as fast as N'Zoth, and their premise is actually really good. But if you go back to other villains, like the fucking jailer, oh, he's been behind everything! Oh, and guys, really, he's not really a bad guy because he's trying to save us! He actually loves us! There's a bigger threat out there! He's basically just like Cigaris, but better! No! Fucking what the hell? I'm sorry, I'm going on a fucking rant, but let's talk about Denuzer, who took over for Chris Metzan. So, he's the lead, right? Everything from current storytelling World of Warcraft can be traced back to him because he's the lead of the story. We can delve down into him basically writing fan fiction. Not even good fan fiction. Look at Nathanos for an example. Nathanos is in vanilla World of Warcraft. He's an undead, whatever. And you could have had a storyline of him being a champion to Sylvanas. Perfectly fine. It was the way that it was done, and the fact that we'll take his soul and put him in a human body that actually resembles the Denuzer, because Nathanos was turned into a self-insert, and Denuzer has come out and said he's basically a simp for Sylvanas. Not only that, now this is something I learned today, because I knew about the self-insert part. What I didn't know is apparently he has a fetish for blue people, because every single character that he's been behind have been blue women who are fucking dumb as shit, don't have any reason to be in the game. Now, if we return back to my original point about getting back to the Hearthstone art, right here. So, Denuzer out of the way, now we're going to get back to comparing tonal shifts of today versus back then. I agree with the, oh, well, you just nitpicked one picture, and that's what you're basing current World of Warcraft on. It's not even the same game. Excuse me, first of all, let's cover the thing that this is still Warcraft. When I think of Warcraft, I think of the guy on the left. I don't think of the guy on the right. I don't care if it's a fucking different game. I don't care. I don't care. It's the Warcraft universe. I want to see Warcraft shit from the Warcraft universe, even if it's a side project. Now, let's just go with their argument, okay? Let's just go with their argument and say, okay, fine, we're nitpicking this one fucking stupid-ass picture of this goddamn orc, right? So, have you guys ever played the original trading card game? The original one, before Hearthstone, the physical one. I have a shit ton of cards right over there. I've actually shown them on screen. This picture right here, that looks badass, right? It's a broken, looks very Warcraft-ish. He looks awesome, badass, whatever. That's a TGC game. That's from the original trading card game. That one is too. That one as well. And actually, no, I think that one's Hearthstone. I'm actually not sure where Chromie is from. That one is from a trading card. That one's just the original one. I don't know what that is. That's a trading card right there. That one as well. And that one. And that one. You can see my point. That's what that one. This one as well. A lot of my thumbnails I took from the TGC. This one as well. That one's one of my favorites. I took from the original TGC. Like this motherfucker right here. He's badass. Look at this. It's awesome. That's a side game. A card game. and the art still looks like Warcraft. It feels like Warcraft. And the thing is, this was not even made by Blizzard. These were made by fans, because fans know what they want from the genre that they love. Now, we go back to the Hearthstone. Let's go over here. This picture right here. So, I'll say the first iteration of Hearthstone, let's, I don't know, right there. It is a little bit more on the goofy side, but a lot of the, just, if you look at just the normal cards or whatever from, like, some of the older expansions, I'm trying to find them, I really can't. They looked okay. Again, a little on the goofy side, but they still looked and felt like Warcraft. Like, look at that. That is the head cover of one of the expansions of Hearthstone. It looks fine. It looks fine. But then you get bullshit like, what did I just have? That one's way too fucking goofy, but that's not what I had. Where was it? That. Look at this. What the fuck is this? And what the fuck is this? Now, here's the thing. Remember how I said earlier that Chris Metzan has been getting into conflict with a lot of the story development team that's working right now? Well, let me show you one other thing that kind of gives you another taste for who's actually working on World of Warcraft right now. So, my inner Italian is coming out. So, there's a game coming out, or it's already come out in early access, I don't fucking know. It's called Palia. Now, Palia is this right here. Very fucking goofy looking, very Pixar looking. All of their elf characters look like racial stereotypes for some fucking reason, because diversity. And all of this, yeah. Now, I'm not going to really worry about this game itself, because that's the art style they want to go for this game. Whatever. I think the game is garbage anyway, just from watching gameplay footage. It doesn't matter. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because their call to success, or I forgot what the terminology was, but the reason why they got so much traction with their first trailer to get interest into this game, whatever my terminology translates to for that, is they ride on the fact that they are ex-Blizzard developers. That's literally what they're riding off of, that they are mostly Blizzard developers. So if these are Blizzard developers and they're making stuff that it's like this. Now again, this is their own game. This is what they should be doing. Go make your own game in the vision that you want. I'm okay with Palia looking like that. I don't care. But they are making World of Warcraft look like this shit. They are making it feel and act like fucking this shit. Right here. And it's not just with Hearthstone. It's with the fucking Arclight Rumble. It's with even just the World of Warcraft advertisement. Have you noticed that they're making a lot more like cutesy characters? Now, it was funny back in the day when we had like one chibi Murloc, right? Because Murloc kind of became the staple. Now, most of the time, they were just Murlocs. And then you had the little baby Murloc, and he was the cute little Blizzard pet because of the meme of Murlocs eating everybody. I am Murloc, right? It was fine when it was like that one little thing, and the little baby Blizzard bear, whatever, right? Now they've got all of these freaking chibi creatures. They got a lot of cutesy characters. The dragons themselves look kind of weird. Have you seen the new Drakthir models? They look like fucking scalies. We got Volpira. We got all this bullshit. And by the way, people wanted the snake people because the snake people actually looked and felt cool with a cool background. Nope, we got fucking fox furry people. Have you seen the Worgen lately? The Worgen, used to look like, where's that other picture I had? Worgen used to look like this. That was what Worgen used to look like. Like fucking this. That was something I made a while ago. Like that. Badass. Fucking raw. Savage. You know what we have for Worgen right now? Let me show you. So there's the badass Worgen. And then look at that one on the right. That I pulled up. That's a furry. Look at that right there. That's a fucking furry. That's somebody's fan art. I'm not really gonna criticize fan art. But you see my point? Look at that one right there that I just pulled up. That's a fucking furry. That's not this. Raw savage. That's soft facial features, puppy dog eyes. Look at me, I'm cute. Now fuck me in the ass. That's literally what it is. It's tonal shift like that. Have you seen... Okay, where's that picture I had of Chromie? So, Chromie, they're turning into their cover girl. Now, this picture right here, I don't remember where I got it from, but it looks very... I just had it because I had a topic about Chromie. But if we go here and type in Chromie... Now, most of the older art, if I can find it, looks fine. Okay, yeah, so it was from that. That's what I got. But now, look at this. Oh my god, there's a NSFW one. Don't look at that one. When I see that right there, they're kind of turning her... Especially that, look at that. Now, I know that's from a different game, but still. They're turning her into the cover girl, and they're making her very cutesy, more so than she was. Because right here, okay, yeah, whatever, kind of cute, but it was fine, right? It was whatever. My point is they're over-cutifying her to make her the cover girl and be like, oh, look how adorable, look how cute she was, instead of just having, hey, come in and help me, because shit's going down. We need to do stuff. To her fucking rugging up and hugging Dormu's leg, like, what the actual fuck? So, my entire point, again, is that the tonal shift of World of Warcraft has been changing the last couple of expansions after a lot of the major players have left. So, now, rounding back up to the point of Chris Metzan. Let's go back to the Chris Metzan art because that's badass. Let's just open up this one right here. So, going back to Chris Metzan. He is World of Warcraft. He created what made the game popular. What fans original hardcore Warcraft fans loved, that made it popular in the first place. And then, when all of them started leaving for one reason or another, some of them bad, some of them, for Chris Metzan's purpose, was just burnout, we had new people taking over. Now, that itself is not an issue. The issue is, a lot of these people don't know Warcraft. They don't know the soul, they don't know the feel, they don't know the essence of Warcraft. They see dwarves. They see elves. They see humans. They see orcs and tauren. They write their own stories and input it into an already pre-existing IP. That's the issue. They're not making Warcraft story. They're not developing the story. They are making their own, not even fan fiction. I've read fan fiction that's better than the bullshit that we've been getting. They're writing their own whatever they want to do, and inputting it into Warcraft with just a Warcraft sticker over it. That's what they're doing. That's what it feels like. And I'm not the only one. Literally everyone. And again, this expands beyond just the storytelling and gameplay. I mean, the storytelling and art aspect of it. But everyone, including the once Blizzard White Knights, who literally sucked the dick of Blizzard every other day, on their knees constantly. Even they are coming around and saying, yeah, what the fuck? So, this video has gone on way longer than what I wanted to originally. I wanted to just make a quick point of saying Chris Metzan, his storytelling is awesome versus what we got today. But I'm going to end with this. The TLDR is, with Chris Metzan coming back, are we going to be returning to form? That is, we don't know. However, with the fact that we've been getting reports of a lot of the current development team being upset, being frustrated with how Chris Metzan has been doing stuff now that he's full-time and in the executive creator role, I definitely have high hopes. Now, that's me sucking copium right now, right? That right here. That's me huffing copium right now. But I definitely believe that there can be a good tonal shift, at least a step in the right direction within the next expansion. Because Blizzard came out and said, if I could find the post right there, that he will be at BlizzCon and they will be sharing what they've been working on. He is instrumental in the foundations of the Warcraft universe, which he is, and are thrilled for him to rejoin them, blah blah blah, and what's next to come. Now, there's 2 or 3 different things that can happen with this. One, he can take over completely the Warcraft universe, and he does all of the tonal changes and art and storytelling. That's the best case scenario. What I think is going on is he's going to be working on retail, and definitely there's going to be a tonal shift, but he's still going to have to work with the team because he's been away for a while and yada yada, but I feel like he's going to have way more power than these fucking college kids in putting self-inserts. Making it so that a 20-year-old night elf talks shit and talks back to Maiev as if he knows better than her, who's literally 20,000 years old, or some shit like that. Now, there's been another leak. Now, I'm saying leak. This is more rumor / it was on a forum, so trust me, bro. So, grain of salt. But it's been stated that he will be working on Classic Plus. And if he is working on, let's just say he's working on just Classic Plus, it's possible that we could get a new variation of what should have been with World of Warcraft. You know, I like the storylines that we got for the original trilogy, even a little bit beyond that, but maybe it wasn't fully realized to what his vision was for the world and the characters. So maybe this is his second chance at it. And if that happens, and let's say everything is successful, that would be the new canon in the hearts and minds of the majority of the Warcraft fans. That's gonna happen. Now, I do not believe that... Well, we're gonna find out pretty soon in like a month, right? We're gonna find out in like 1 month from now what is actually gonna happen. But what I believe is that he is going to be working on or he has been working on, because remember, they plan like out 2 expansions ahead of time. So from when he got back last year, they've already been working on the next expansion. So I believe he's got no feet in Dragonflight at all. It's going to play out, and whatever happens. He's going to be part of the next expansion, if he is in the retail atmosphere. They just said Warcraft universe. They didn't say what exact area. So, that's another scenario, is he's just retail. We don't know what expansion could come out. There's many... We can think of many things. I think the South Seas expansion is fucked at this point. I don't think it's going to happen. The majority of the best islands to use for that kind of expansion, they're gone already. They're used up. So... It could still happen with the few we have left. I doubt it. We have Other Side of Azeroth, which could be interesting if done right. Under Chris Metzan, I believe it could be successful. We also have Army of the Light, which, if we keep it to On Earth, Scarlet Crusade 2.0 storyline, perfect. Go ahead, do that. I'm okay with the Alliance taking the L for once and them being the bad guys. I do not want to see Void Lord shit. I just don't. Could it happen? Absolutely. I don't want to see it. I don't give a fuck. Other than that, that's pretty much all we have. So, any of those storylines, I believe Chris Metzan would do awesome at. I would prefer him work on both, but I think we're only going to be seeing him on retail, and that's just my speculation. But because I am puffing the copium, I will be tuning into BlizzCon coming up in 1 month, just for the announcement of the new World of Warcraft. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll be able to stream it or not, but I will be watching it, and afterward, I will give you my opinion, my thoughts, good or bad. I will tell you as I see it. As you guys know, I always speak my mind. I tell you how it is. And most of the time, I'm fucking right. So, anyway. That's been my fucking huge half an hour long video. And, yeah. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.